परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः.
Wonder of Wonders, English rendering of Paramahamsa Sadguru SriSatupasi, Kannada classic, Mahadascharya, Chapter 6. Om Shri Gurudattaya Namaha. Unraveling Greatness of Begging. Mangalarati 1. To him who was a serpent in his house, who disparaged almsgiving. In the past, not long ago, brinjal bhaji and mudde were cooked and offered to Lord in Sri Kanneshwara precincts. As days passed by, it was given up. No one was doing. During a Shravana Masa, sometimes in the month of August, I wanted to do this. Cook brinjal bhaji and mudde and offer it to Kanneshwara. Couldn't get anything from home. Great struggle it was to get food and clothing. During such times, who would bring and offer? Even if I say, I will cook in Kanneshwara temple, none would come forward to give. I was thinking what to do. In my father's presence, I couldn't go begging. Not at all for alms. If I had to go for begging, I had to do it only when he wasn't there. One who does no work for home, this one begs for the temple and gets things. This grouse added to his anger. When Appa was not in the village, I was going for begging during Shravana. If I went to all houses hanging a haversack and holding a bag, they would give vegetables, ragi flour, rice, granules, and many others. It was difficult times for people. Even then none said no. Would give some at least if they couldn't give more. I would return with however much they gave. Once I went to Sri Rudrana's house. The family was fairly well off. They had set up a shop and it was running well. As soon as I went to him, he asked, "What?" In Shravana, food needs to be cooked in Kanneshwara temple. Give something, some alms, I asked. He went into a rage as soon as I said this. I say, your father is a solid, a chairman and a leader, Yajamana. A chairman does a lot of ordering. Plentiful assets he has. Aren't you ashamed to go begging? He said whatever and many more things. It seems my father and his folks had quarrelled earlier. They weren't in good talking terms. What have I got to do with this? I thought, me, an alms seeker, I had gone there overlooking all this. Sir, give if you want to, otherwise say no. Why talk all this? If you give, we'll take and just go away. If you say no, we go away in silence. That's all. Why talk so much? I said. No, I wouldn't get away from here. Nothing will be given. Sell off somebody's property or an acre of farmland and bring that and get that cooked. We are shopkeepers and you come to beg here. He spoke in that strain. It's enough now. Want nothing. And I proceeded to other houses. Many more there were, Ganapnatti, Nayakrahatti and Golarahatti. I was going to these places off and on. If I got a sizable quantity, I would store. All of it in Gaudappa's hut of our village. I couldn't take it home. If I did, and if my father saw, he would ask, "Where was this before? Where had you been?" And he would have known. That day, after begging, bringing and keeping all of it in Hatti Gowda's house, I was just sitting. There, in Rudrana's house, do you know what has happened? A serpent has come to and lurked itself in this passage room. Terrified, they have called the neighbors and others and have got it killed. Picking up the dead serpent in a stick, they have cremated it, sticking a 5 paise coin into its mouth. I was watching sitting in Hatti Gowda's house. By the time they enter their house, washing hands and legs after cremation, a similar serpent is lying in the same place in the same style. They are bewildered. What is this? Just now we have come after killing and cremating a serpent. Again the serpent has entered. What is this? What does it mean? Fear struck, they have deliberated. They have recalled, oh, yes, he had come for alms. This may have happened for saying no to him. What a foolish thing we did. They have again intimated their neighbors but have stopped them from killing it, saying, please don't hit. What does it mean? We killed and it is back here. They have all decided to call me. I had a friend called Veeranna. He was assisting me when I had any work in Kanneshwara temple. They called him and said, we do what he says, let him come, catch the snake and go. Veeranna conveyed to me what he was told. He called me and said, look, it seems a snake had sneaked into Rudrana's house. When it was killed, another one has appeared in its place. You are wanted. If a snake enters, what can I do? Do I know how to catch a snake? What am I to do if a snake enters? I say, oh, whatever it may be, you are requested to go. What else can be done? So I went. They pleaded, ask what you want, we will give. Catch this snake and go, please. What is there for me to ask? Arrange a meal for about 10 to 15 in Kanneshwara temple. I will catch the snake and go away, I said. Ah, take this away first. Great food, a grand meal. I get cooked, rice, curry, dessert, everything. But first catch the snake and go, he said. The snake was lying coiled. I went to the passage room with a big bag. There was yet another door beside the door. Sitting on that door space, I widened the big bag before the snake and called, come, sir, has promised a great grand meal. Come, let's go. Opening its hood, it came as it was called. I don't know whether or not children would come as quickly as it did when called. Look, don't fail to keep to your word. The meal should be served the next Monday alone. Nothing good happens if you fail, I said. No, not at all. I will not miss. I'll truly arrange the meal. The snake in the bag was let out into the wilderness. On Monday, as promised, he brought the provisions and arranged for cooking rice, dal, and other things for the dessert like jaggery and so on. I had brought many people with me. A great grand meal had been cooked. Once this was over, he relapsed into his former self. It didn't strike him that this event was of great significance. They did not find or feel anything that was extraordinary. How did the cremated serpent return? Why did it come? How did it come? From whence did it come? How did it enter the bag at the very first call? This didn't affect them at all. What is special was he had arranged the meal as promised. That itself was a special. Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat.